Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first event of a series of events scheduled this month to observe the World MS Day, a day to celebrate global solidarity and hope for the future. World MS Day takes place on 30th May every year. Share stories, raise awareness, and campaign with everyone affected by MS. The 2020-2022 World MS Day theme is Connections. I'm very happy to share that I have been personally involved in part of the global working team that had worked on this theme and has made a very meaningful campaign theme in a series of World MS Day themes, seminars and webinars that would focus on one aspect of connections. It could be self-care, it could be connections with our caregivers, it could be connections with the healthcare professionals who make the quality of life of an MS person better. It could be advocacy, it could be various aspects. We are challenging social barriers that leave people affected by MS feeling lonely and socially isolated. Together, we advocate for better services, celebrate support networks, champion self-care. Change the future, find your hashtag MS Connections. In this is the first series of webinars. Thanks to the Hyderabad chapter for putting up this wonderful, meaningful webinar. I hand it over to Renuka, our National Secretary, to welcome everybody. Renuka, over to you and have a great one.
Thank you, Shankar. Namaste, everyone. Welcome, like Shankar says, to our event. This is for all the people who are joining us for the first time. We are delighted to see a mixed group of people, some from the government, some very new people who don't know about MSSI, but have found the poster interesting and have registered. We have had a lot of people.
Renuka, can you unmute yourself? Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
So welcome, everyone. What I was saying is that we've got a whole mixed batch of people. There are people from the government who are joining us, and warm welcome to them. There are many people who are joining us for the first time who did not know about the existence of Multiple Sclerosis Society of India. So therefore, I know this is a repetition, but I will quickly touch upon what Multiple Sclerosis Society of India is and what we do. We were established in 1985 with only 3 MS persons. Today, we are a 35-year-old organization with close to more than 3,000 people who are living with MS. And of course, this does not include the others who are associated with multiple sclerosis persons, for example, their families or their children or their siblings and their caregivers, most importantly. So if we were to do a simple math, today's program is mainly for self-care and wellness for the caregivers. And it's simple math. If you have 3,000 MS persons registered with MSSI, then at least one MS person will have one primary caregiver. That itself is 3,000. So we are probably reaching out to as close to 6,000 people if everyone looks at our video or this session. Continuing with what Multiple Sclerosis Society is, we are, like I said, a 35-year-old organization, and we have presence in 7 states, and we have offices in 8 cities, which include Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Indore, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Pune. We also have a support group in Trivandrum, and we welcome everyone and all our people joining us. Basically, what Multiple Sclerosis Society of India does is we are a patient welfare organization. We work at 2 different levels. One is at the head office at the national level, and one at the regional and the chapter level. While the chapters are in direct contact with people with MS in their region, and they provide services to improve the quality of life of those people. At the national level, we are more in the space of lobbying with the government and advocating for the rights of persons with MS to make their life a little better. The services that the chapters are providing at the regional levels could include a whole array of services, which are physiotherapy, home nursing care, scholarship, occupational therapists and remodeling homes. There are specific cases, and on that, they also organize medical seminars and camps under one roof for the people to use the benefit. They also look at fixing appointments with neurologists as and when required. There are medical reimbursements given on very specific conditions and on a need base. We also provide support in a non-monetary manner, which is by donating wheelchairs, water beds, catheters, and so on. What we do is, during this COVID, life has been terrible. We are all grappling with our situation, which is external, which is not in our control. But what is in our control is how we think and how we feel within the confines of our home. And that is the reason we are going to be doing a series of webinars and meetings virtually to be able to stay connected with our members. That's one of our focus areas as well. And with that, I hope you will be able to find value in what we are going to be doing in the next few months, and especially in the next few days of the month of May. With that, I won't take any more time. At the end, we will open up a slide with all the contact information of our senior leaders and our chapter phone numbers. So don't worry about how you're going to contact us. You will find us on Facebook, on Insta, in Twitter, as well as on YouTube. So much for MSSI. I now request Meena Gupta, who is the head of and the founder of the Hyderabad chapter, under whose leadership this entire webinar is coming through. So I hand over to Meena to introduce our speaker for the day. It's over to you, Meena.
Thank you so much, Renuka. It's really a pleasure and an honor to introduce our young, very young speaker for today. And I'm happy to, introduce Ms. Prerna Gupta, who's a very talented and successful counselor, our speaker for today's webinar on self-care and wellness for caregivers. Prerna has completed her MSc in Psychological Counseling from Montfort College in Bangalore in 2011. She started her coach training in 2019 and got internationally certified with the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaching early last year. She is also a co-founder of Pause to Begin, where she practices privately as a counselor and a coach. Prerna has worked as counselor and life skills trainer in various school, college, and corporate settings. She is also a practicing internationally certified health and wellness coach. She is currently working with Workplace Options and running her private practice at Pause to Begin, working with individuals and couples globally. She believes it takes courage to seek help and commit to the process of mental and emotional well-being. In her practice, she facilitates the process of awareness, acceptance, and change, empowering people to embrace and cope with challenges more effectively and to achieve their full potential. Her approach is integrative, drawing techniques from cognitive behavior therapy, transactional analysis, person-centered therapy, solution-focused brief therapy, and mindfulness-based stress reduction. She strikes a fine balance between compassion and confrontation to help people move forward from a place of acceptance and loving kindness. I'm sure this interactive session will be very informative for all of us. And I think we can all sit back and listen to our dynamic speaker, Prerna Gupta. And over to you, Prerna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that humbling introduction. And yeah, Javed, thank you for pulling up the presentation. I am honored to be here and I'm excited to do this. Just want to make sure I have everything ready. All right. So today's topic is self-care and wellness for caregivers. It is going to be a coach approach. Before we get into that, I want to take all of you through a brief mindfulness exercise. Mindfulness is on the next slide, Javed. Mindfulness is the practice of being in the here and now, not dwelling in the past or worrying about the future, and being fully present in the moment. So I want all of us to close our eyes. Yeah, so close your eyes. Get in touch with your breath, body, and mind. I want you to sit in a relaxed position, upright if possible, shoulders relaxed, hand placed lightly on your lap or wherever comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and as you let it out, allow your body to relax. Just for a moment, drop the tension in your face, your shoulders, your body, your mind, and your surroundings. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. You are safe. You are calm. You are at peace. As you breathe in, imagine soft, positive, white light filling up your body. And as you exhale, imagine doubt, worry, and pain leaving your body. Again, breathe in positivity and breathe out all the discomfort and negativity. You are safe. You are calm. You are at peace. Slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your head gently from side to side. Do any small movement that you can do to slowly come back to the present moment and open your eyes whenever ready. I hope you enjoyed that, and that's brought you into this moment to be fully focused for this webinar. Moving on to the next slide that shows the objectives of this presentation: understanding the coach approach, learning about caregiving in relation to self-care and well-being, identifying caregiver burnout, prioritizing self-care, and overcoming challenges. On the next slide, we're going to talk about what is coaching very briefly. The International Coaching Federation defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. The purpose of coaching is to help a person change in the way they wish and helping them go in the direction they want to go. Coaching builds awareness, empowers choice, and leads to change. And the vision for this presentation is a coach approach to caregiving in order to ensure the well-being of the caregiver. On the next slide, you can see that a person goes through different stages of change and success. So let's quickly go over these steps. And I want you to write down, hopefully you have a pen and paper or your phone to make notes. I want you to write down which step you are at, because change and action begins with awareness. And if we don't know where we are, we will not know where to begin. So the different stages are starting from the bottom. I won't do it. I can't do it. I want to do it. I'll try to do it. I can do it. I will do it. And then, of course, you have success. Moving on to the next slide. What is caregiving and who is a caregiver? Briefly going to touch upon this. There are only 4 kinds of people in this world. Those who have been caregivers, those who are currently caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregivers. So caregiving is universal. A caregiver is a person who tends to the needs or concerns of a person with short or long-term limitations due to illness, injury, or disability. On the next slide, what you see is basically a 3-legged stool. Now, to understand the importance of a caregiver, you've got to think of healthcare as a 3-legged stool. Family caregivers is 1 leg of the stool. Professional caregivers, which are doctors, nurses, etc., act as another leg of the stool. And the person receiving the care is the 3rd leg of the stool. So without all 3 legs, healthcare cannot be as effective as it needs to be. On the next slide, we are going to quickly go over some factors that can lead to caregiver stress. Those are living with the person you are caring for, social isolation, depression, anxiety, financial difficulties, higher number of hours spent caregiving, lack of coping skills, difficulty solving problems, lack of choice in being a caregiver. For instance, if you haven't really chosen to be the caregiver and it's just fallen upon you. Lack of importance to self-care. Moving on to the next slide. Very closely related is how do we recognize caregiving burnout, right? So we discussed how important caregivers are. You know, they are one of the legs of that 3-legged stool. So it becomes very important to make sure that all the legs are proper. And it's important to recognize when a caregiver must be reaching burnout. Some signs that can help you recognizing that you as a caregiver might be burning out, or for the person receiving care to recognize that their caregiver must be burning out. Some points would be feeling overwhelmed or constantly worried, feeling tired or extreme exhaustion, getting too much sleep or not enough sleep, gaining or losing weight and appetite, irritability, anger, losing interest in activities you used to previously enjoy, feeling sad, low mood, physical manifestations of burnout, for example, body pains, headaches, or any kind of physical issues. Unhealthy coping mechanisms like alcohol, drugs, or withdrawal and isolation, failure to exercise and take care of yourself, unable to rest even when you really need to, postponement of or failure to make medical appointments and take care of yourself. And of course, there are lots and lots of others that we could all add based on our experiences. Now, the thing to remember is that while most of these are normal, what you really want to take care of and take note of is how frequently or how intensely you are experiencing these symptoms. Some amount of worry or even quite a bit of worry, exhaustion is normal. But if it's happening way too often for an extended period of time, then you know that you need to get help. Moving on to the next slide. Why is self-care important? Why is this a topic of discussion at all? Obviously, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself first. Just like they show in the airplanes, you must put your oxygen mask on first before helping anybody else. And the three-legged stool is a great example of this. So if one leg of the stool is chipped or wobbly or broken, the whole system begins to collapse. That is how important you as a caregiver are. And that is why you deserve love and care, especially from yourself. And for those who are receiving the care and are here in the presentation, remember that if your caregiver is not getting adequate rest time, it impacts you directly. So encourage them to take care of themselves, support their self-care and well-being. Only then will they be able to continue helping you with your oxygen mask. Moving on to the next slide. So we're going to do an interesting activity. And if you don't already have a pen and paper or your phone, I would want you to get one. This is basically a self-care vision board. Yeah. So what I want you to do is make a list of all the things that you'd like to do for self-care. And for those who are receiving care, I want you to make a list of the things you would like your caregiver to do for themselves. Yeah, so I want you to get really creative and simple. And I'm going to start off by reading out some examples on this vision board. So what I really like about this particular vision board is that it incorporates all aspects of self-care. So it has physical, mental, spiritual, environmental, emotional, and social. Some of the things listed here are getting in shape, eating healthy, having some adventure, journaling, organizing, meditating, just embracing positive vibes, finishing your garden, practicing better success and mindfulness, staying in touch with family and friends. So these are a few examples. I'm going to give you a minute, 45 seconds to a minute, to just make a small list of things that you would like to do for self-care and you would like your caregiver to do for themselves. And there are some additional examples here, which I'll quickly read out to you. Make a wish list of what you want. Give yourself grace and love. Bring some flowers inside. Give yourself love. Give yourself compassion. Tell yourself it's a bit tough right now. It's okay. Just get some sun. Take a deep breath. Admire nature. Make something new. Pause. Rest. Make a list of what is and isn't working. And take another look at your weeds. You can come up with your own, take some from these, but make a list of things that you would like to do. I'm hoping that all of you have at least something written down. Moving on to the next slide. That's what I read out to you. And the next slide. Okay, so now that we have the list of things that you would like to do, I want you to ask yourself, why are you not able to do the things that you've listed? Yeah. So I want you to make a note of some of the challenges that stop you from achieving these things that you want to do for yourself. And feel free to write them in the chat if you want to share with us. And whoever is watching the chat, just read out a few of them if possible.
Prerna, maybe you can repeat the question.
Yeah. The question is, why are you not able to do the things that you want to do for self-care? So the things that you've just made a list of, why are you not able to do them? What are your challenges?
There are also some people who have been making requests if we could add some Hindi once in a while. So if you're comfortable with that, maybe you can also try and ask questions in Hindi as well, wherever possible.
Okay.
One of the things somebody has mentioned in the chat is financial. That is one of the challenges that they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Sriram says feeling tired very soon.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for sharing. Now,
Says lack of enough motivation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pradeep says some social pressures.
Okay, so we'll take a look at the rest that come in, but just so that we are keeping to time, I'm going to move forward. I can only imagine, how difficult and challenging it must be to navigate through all the challenges that you have, and it's mushkil hai to, challenges ke samne apna self-care rakhna. It's very difficult. So on the next slide, we are going to take a coach approach to how we can overcome challenges while focusing on what we can control as opposed to focusing on what we cannot control. So a lot of our problems arise when we pay too much attention and worry about things that we have no control over, right? So all the challenges that you have listed are all the buts. And as you can see in the image, the buts are what stop us from getting creative and going ahead in our vision for self-care. So the first step to self-care is to change the way we approach goals and challenges. Now we're going to do another very quick exercise. So imagine it's a group discussion, right? And the topic is, let's talk about self-care. Okay, the group members have to respond to this statement. Let's talk about self-care. Now, can anyone give me an example of a response with the words no and but? Respond to the statement, let's talk about self-care, with the words no and but.
So can I go? This is Renuka.
Yes, please.
So you want me to respond to the word self-care with a no and but?
Let's talk about self-care is the statement. How would you respond to that with the words no and but?
Let's talk about self-care, but I don't think this is the right time.
Okay, that's a perfect example. Thank you for that. Can anyone give me an example of a response with the words yes and but?
If everyone is mute, somebody should just raise the hand. We will see the screen and...
We are mentioning it on chat. Yes,
yeah.
You can do it, but time issues.
Yes, perfect. That's a great example.
And Dimple says, yes, I want to be healthy, but my disease won't.
Yes, perfect example. Thank you for sharing. Now, can anyone give me an example of a response with yes and how?
I think I can go for it. Yes, self-care is important, but how can I take care of myself?
Yes, thank you so much for that. So all I would do is remove the but from that statement. So I would say, yes, it's important, and I'm going to focus on how I can achieve it. So which is what the coach approach is. It is about focusing on the hows rather than focusing on the buts. So how can you overcome challenges and start doing those things on your list, right?
There's one more from Sanjeev here. He says, yes, I want to go for an adventure, but how can I take care of expenses?
Yes. So all I would say is try and change that but to and. So I want to go for an adventure, and how can I take care of expenses? Yeah. Okay. So the first thing now, prioritizing self-care, but versus how, right? So we've talked about how much power words have, how but and can make such a lot of difference. So some tips, I'm just going to go over some tips. The first thing is to set the intention. आपको अपना मन बनाना है कि मुझे अपना ध्यान रखना है. I must take care of my self-care. Now, connection with your needs. Journal or practice mindfulness to connect with your needs. If you don't know what you need, you won't be able to take care of yourself and take action. So your needs are important. Find out कि आपकी क्या ज़रूरतें हैं, and then only you can take action. Now, creativity, very important, thinking outside the box, because with so many limitations, we are already inside the box. Please go back to the previous slide. Yes, just I'll let you know. So creativity, thinking outside the box is very important. We are already in such limitations, and we must train our minds to think out of the box. Which means you can brainstorm ideas with yourself by journaling, or just getting creative, or even with somebody from your support group, with a family, with a support network member, to say, I want to have an adventure and I want to brainstorm ideas on how I can achieve it. Let's talk about some ideas, right? Now, smart goals are very important. It's important to come up with small, specific, realistic and doable goals that you can hold yourself accountable for. कि मुझे ये करना है, और मुझे ये कल तक करना है, या मुझे ये 1 महीने के अंत तक करना है. And you will check at the end of 1 month, have I done this or not? For example, now I will take 3 deep breaths 3 times a day with the help of a reminder. That's how specific. If you get this specific, it's much easier to achieve your goals. An example of coming up with plan B, right? It's बहुत जरूरी है कि अगर आपका first plan काम नहीं करे, तो आप second plan के ऊपर जा सके, right? So let's say you have said, I want to go out for a walk every day. Now, for any reason, it might rain or there might be a crisis in the family. You can't step out. Well, do indoor walking with the help of YouTube videos. Now, an example of compassion, right? It's with so much that you're going through, compassion is so important, to not be hard on yourself. So if you're unable to exercise, agar aapne aaj exercise nahi kari, just be able to say, it's okay. I'll get back to it the next day. Aaj nahi hua, theek hai, main kal koshish karunga dobara. If you don't have time for a 30-minute self-care routine on any particular day, just do 5 minutes, So there has to be flexibility, creativity, plan Bs, and be compassionate, but not complacent. So agar aapne एक दिन आप नहीं कर पाए कि आज मुश्किल है, आज नहीं होगा, I need a rest day, let me not bother too much, ठीक है, but then get back up tomorrow. ये नहीं कि आपका वो compassion चलते गया and then you're not doing anything. Moving on to the next slide. So this is my last slide. I am just going to walk you through a few self-care essentials. As caregivers, you might have feelings of guilt, resentment, anger, sadness कि क्या मैं काफ़ी कर रहा हूँ? Am I doing enough? या मुझे ही क्यों करना पड़ता है? मेरी life, I mean, my life is, so limited because of these challenges. या, people have so many expectations and you feel burden, or you might even feel normal emotions like happy, positive, hopeful. So remember that the not so positive feelings, which are guilt, resentment, anger, these are also as normal as feeling happy, positive, hopeful. So allow yourself to feel the whole range of thoughts and feelings. Journal your thoughts, the angry ones, the thankful ones, all of them. And then take a breath and let go of the ones that are not serving you well. Yeah, the ones that are causing you more harm than good. जो thoughts or feelings आपके काम में नहीं आ रहे हैं, उनको जाने दीजिए, right? Not by saying, oh, you are not good, you should go away, but just by saying, okay, I'm feeling, मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है, and that's okay. But there's no point holding on to it. So I have to let it go. So focus on thoughts, feelings, and events that are helpful. Ask for help and accept help. It is okay to vent and express your struggles and feelings. आपके struggles और feelings के बारे में बात करना is fine, लेकिन उसमें घुस जाना या उसमें बहुत देर तक बैठना is not good. So it's harmful to sit in your thoughts and feelings and struggles and bathe in them. Imagine what would happen if you stood under cold or hot water for 24 hours. You would be, one, wasting water and also exposing your body to a possible fever or cold or burn. So vent, but don't wallow. Set realistic goals. Do what you can do without thinking about what you should do because others are doing it or others can do it. While going to the gym might be possible and enjoyable for someone, indoor exercise or a 10-minute walk on the road or in a park might be more realistic and doable for someone else. Once you set realistic goals, find a way to keep yourself accountable, so that you don't lose track of your vision, which is easy to lose sight of, especially when you are a caregiver prioritizing a family member's needs. Lastly, and most importantly, recognize small wins. Pat yourself on the back every day. अपने आप को compassion दीजिए, congratulations बोलिए, thank you बोलिए. No matter what, whatever day you are having, always be grateful and thankful for yourself. That's me, and I'm open to questions now.
Great, thank you. We will take questions. If you have a question, you may either put it in the chat box or you may also raise your hand so that we can give you the opportunity. Yes, Dinesh Singh has raised his hand. Just 1 minute, please.
I'll take care of the unmuting. Tanya and me will take it, don't worry.
Okay, Mr. Dinesh Singh.
Yes, Dinesh, you can unmute yourself. I think I'll go to Sanjeev and come back to Dinesh in a while.
Hi, sir.
हाँ दिनेश जी आप बताइए.
हाँ, एक्चुअली मैं जानना चाहता था सर, हम लोग कौन सा वैक्सीन लें?
सर, Renuka, you can reply to that.
हेलो
जी, आपका सवाल क्या है कि वैक्सीन, ये तो प्रोग्राम वैक्सीन के बारे में नहीं है वैसे, लेकिन आपका सवाल को हम जवाब इसी तरह से दे सकते हैं, हम तो डॉक्टर नहीं हैं। बेहतर ये होगा कि आप अपने जो न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट है या आप जिन डॉक्टर के पास जा रहे हैं, आप
नॉर्मली एमएस पेशेंट कौन सा वैक्सीन लेगा?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई मापदंड नहीं है जहाँ पे हम साफ बोल सकते हैं कि ए या बी लिया जाए, और हम उस कैटेगरी में नहीं आते हैं। हम ना डॉक्टर हैं, ना वायरोलॉजिस्ट हैं, ना, तो ये तो सवाल आप उनके अपने फिजिशियन से पूछे तो बेहतर होगा। धन्यवाद। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन प्लीज।
Sanjeev, over to you. Sanjeev Chauhan.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Good evening, Prerna ji. I just wanted to ask one question. Around 6 years back, I have recovered my father, who is an army officer. He was a cancer patient last stage. And within the 6 weeks of rigorous study across the globe, I recovered him through natural treatments. It was the last stage cancer patient, 77 age. So that was the time I have declared that I want 3 months, and I have did that. I recovered it within 3 months. That's not the point. I have recovered him 6 years back in 3 months. Now he's not taking a single pill for the last 6 years. But now, as a caretaker, as a caregiver, I am facing a tremendous problem. Because I know that the cancer comes back in future, because I'm working rigorously on the cancer across the globe. So the thing is that I know that the cancer comes back, although it was not the allopathy treatment. Still, it may come back if you do some wrongdoings or the carelessness again and again, like eating artificial color, or there are so many reasons, right? So my question is that I have asked a very direct question, that the patient, he's not a patient right now actually, but he is very, very close, because he's my father, he's my role model.
What is your question, sir? What is your question?
Yeah, that is what I am asking, because I wanted to then only the question could be understood. So the thing is that because he is my closest connection relation, he's my role model, and if I am guiding him anything, like you should take this and you should not take that, so he's not agreeing right now, right? So what should I do? Shall I ignore, or shall I also see doing some carelessness again and again continuously, and within few months or few years he will suffer with the cancer again? Or what shall I do? Because sometimes I'm very, very confused, because the other patients I can do whatever I want to.
Yeah, got it.
For my father, it is emotional quotient.
जी, समझ गए. In fact, there is a question, Prerna. There is a question which I had also got from a few more caregivers, which is very much related to what this person is asking, is that जो caregiver होते हैं, वो बहुत एडवाइस देते हैं अपने जिनकी केयर ले रहे हैं, और लेकिन जो केयर ले रहे हैं वो इनकी बात नहीं सुनते हैं. So the level of frustration in a caregiver is one. Then there is another person who says, मैं अगर कुछ एडवाइस देती हूँ तो मुझे डर लगता है क्या मैं सही कर रहा हूँ या गलत कर रहा हूँ. So the anxiety in a caregiver while taking certain decisions which he or she is thinking is the best is actually causing a lot of stress, anxiety, worry. So how and what would you advise would be the approach to handle this?
Okay. So first things first, each of the question is very general, yes. But each dynamic, har kisi ka dynamic is different. So to give proper advice, this would require more probing and understanding of each of the situations. Lekin in general, I would say you can only do so much. Right? आप सिर्फ जो आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, you can do your research, you can talk to professional caregivers, doctors, nurses, professionals, specialists to ask for advice, and then जो डेटा आपको मिलता है उसके हिसाब से यू डिसाइड, ओके दीज आर द ऑप्शंस, गिव दोज ऑप्शंस टू योर to the person who receives, who needs the care, for whom you are collecting this data. Try and give options rather than saying that this is the only option. I think people receiving care always feel, in my experience, they feel better if they're able to choose between a few options. Now, if that option is not there, then you tell the person that, okay, these are your options, ये डॉक्टर ने बोला है, ये स्पेशलिस्ट ने बोला है, ये इंटरनेट ने बोला है, एंड आई थिंक इससे ये बेनिफिट्स होंगे, राइट? नाउ फॉर द anxiety bit, that is something that comes with caregiving. One has to learn to deal with it. Take a few deep breaths, remind yourself कि आप इतना ही कर सकते हैं. You cannot force anything on anybody. And as a person receiving care, please be kind to your caregivers. Please, you know, understand that they are doing things for you. Remember कि आप भी उस tool का एक leg है. You have to work with your caregiver to have the healthcare system work. I hope I answered that question in a general way. I can't get more specific.
Right. Yeah, I think, thank you. There is some question from Gurmeet Singh, Shankar, in the chat box. I think they've raised their hand.
I think we have a couple of people, like Smita is raised the hand. Can we request Smita to unmute herself?
Right.
Smita Kengley.
Yes, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and ask the question. While that is happening, I'm just going to read out this question from Gurmeet Singh, saying sometimes a caregiver feels that he or she has to keep motivated all the time and does it most of the times. But who could be the caregiver of a caregiver when an MS person's caregiver needs support and when they feel exhausted? Very, very pertinent question. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. First things first, if you're not feeling motivated on a particular day, it's okay. Yes, you have to do your duty. You have to do what needs to be done to take care of the person, but it's okay for you to not be motivated to do other things on a particular day. There is support out there. So like I said, reach out for help. You want to talk to someone, call, there is support, and get help. There is therapy, there is counseling. If you have access to that, great. If you don't have access to it, find out about it.
Right. Iske saath, the answer is also from the organizational perspective. I'll be happy to tell you that on the 30th of May, we are planning to do a session and we will be bringing some information, especially for caring for caregivers, Gurmeet ji, and jo baki sare sun rahe hain. We are exploring the possibility of doing a sustained and continual program. We will be talking to a group of people like you and some eminent doctors working in the space of caring for caregivers. And we will put together something which will be for caring for caregivers and not very, of course, that will be general, but we are finding mechanisms on how to do group sessions, explore the possibility of getting people with common problems in one platform and keep it like that. But that is for another time. Yes. Pita, if your mic is unmuted, you can please speak.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, मैं last 2 years से मुझे पता चला है कि मैं MS पेशेंट हूँ, लेकिन मेरा गुस्सा आना और मुझे स्ट्रेस का बहुत ही प्रॉब्लम है. मतलब मैं इमीडिएटली गुस्सा हो जाती हूँ और बाद में इमीडिएटली नॉर्मल हो जाती हूँ, लेकिन उस बीच में मैं घर वालों को बहुत हर्ट कर देती हूँ. तो उस वक्त मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? मैं बहुत इस वजह से मैं बहुत परेशान हो चुकी हूँ. क्या करूँ मैं? और मेरे हस्बैंड तो बहुत केयर लेते हैं मेरी, लेकिन मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं पाती हूँ उसके लिए. तो क्या करना चाहिए इस वक्त?
तो आपका सवाल था कि आप MS पर्सन हैं और आपके पति केयरगिवर हैं, करेक्ट? और आपको गुस्सा ज्यादा आता है और आप उसको किस तरह से मैनेज करें, ये सवाल था आपका? अच्छा जी. अच्छा, प्रेरणा,
प्राणायाम वगैरह वो सब करती हूँ, लेकिन उससे मुझे नहीं लगता इतना कुछ फायदा हो रहा है।
Yes. स्मिता, आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो आई मीन इट्स सो नॉर्मल. इट्स नॉट गुस्सा आना, स्नैपी होना, इट्स नॉर्मल. तो पहले तो आप अपने आप को बोलिए कि ये नॉर्मल इमोशन है. एंड दूसरा, जैसे आपने बोला आपके हस्बैंड बहुत ध्यान रखते हैं आपका, तो उसके ऊपर फोकस करिए. बी मोर थैंकफुल. ट्राई एंड कीप थिंकिंग कि क्या है जो आप थैंकफुल हो सके उसके बारे में. और अगर गुस्सा आए और आपने अगर ध्यान दिया कि गुस्सा आया है, तो इमीडिएटली उसको आप, अगर हस्बैंड के ऊपर दिखता है गुस्सा, तो हस्बैंड को बोलिए कि आई एम सॉरी, आई डिडंट मीन दैट. एंड जैसे आपने बोला, प्राणायाम करिए, ब्रीदिंग करिए, और ये मत सोचिए कि वो हेल्प कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है. राइट? जैसे हमने शुरू में एक माइंडफुलनेस एक्सरसाइज करी थी. आप यू हैव ऑन द जर्नी ना, कि आप जब एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, आप सिर्फ उसके बारे में सोचिए. ये मत सोचिए कि इससे फायदा हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. एज लॉन्ग एज कोई साइड इफेक्ट नहीं है, डू दैट. जब गुस्सा आए, 2 सेकंड के लिए सांस लीजिए और फिर रिस्पॉन्ड करिए या फिर कुछ बोलिए. और
एक्चुअली क्या होता है ऐसा,
एंड अगर आप नहीं जाते, अगर गुस्सा बढ़ते ही जा रहा है, तो इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट कि आप सोसाइटी के मतलब सपोर्ट नेटवर्क से, किसी से 1-on-1 बात करिए, जिससे कि आपको भी एक जगह मिले जहां आप अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशंस निकाल सकें.
ओके. ये होता क्या है, उस वजह से मेरा एमएस का जो अटैक का जो प्रॉब्लम है वो बढ़ जाता है और वापस में वो निगेटिव में जाते हैं, इम्प्रूव नहीं कर पाते. मेरा जो तकलीफ है वो इसलिए, और कुछ नहीं. तो देखूंगी किसी से एक बात करने का सोचूंगी तो इजीली वो मैं स्ट्रेस आउट हो जाऊंगी. थैंक यू.
स्मिता जी, आप कौन से चैप्टर के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं?
मैं पूना से.
ठीक है, वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा टीम है. यहाँ पे हमारी अंजलि मैडम जी हैं. आप आप उनसे कांटेक्ट कर लीजिए और उनसे बात कीजिए, तो बाकी वहीं से फिर थोड़ा आगे आपको थोड़ा रिलीफ मिलेगा और एडवाइस मिलेगा. यस, देयर आर सम मोर क्वेश्चंस कमिंग इन एंड सम मोर हैंड्स. इट्स बैक टू यू, शंकर.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Sangarji. Yeah, actually, my question is, you mentioned here about that compassion. So, MS patient or caretaker who need this kind of compassion first. And next question is, what is self-compassion? So these are my doubts.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. Are you asking what is self-compassion?
That was one of the questions, yes. What is self-compassion was one of the questions.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other question that he asked was compassion. Who should have compassion, carer or for caregiver? Those were the
everybody, each and every person should have compassion, right? Without that, we cannot survive or be effective in caregiving and receiving care. So what is self-compassion? Self-compassion is love and kindness towards yourself. Ki aap you honor yourself. आप बोल सको कि yes, I am going through a difficult situation. जिस situation में मैं हूँ वो मुश्किल है, and जो मैं कर रहा हूँ काफी कर रहा हूँ, and मैं जो करूँगा I will try to do my best, and that's all I can do. तो बेसिकली ये नहीं कि आप डंडा लेके अपने you're beating yourself up कि मैं और कर सकता हूँ and जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो काफी नहीं है. So that, and same goes for the patient also.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have Pradeep Kotari. May I ask Pradeep Kotari to unmute himself? Pradeep.
Hi, Prerna. I'm Pradeep Kotari from Jaipur. I just wanted to ask you that moods can be extremely deceptive, right? So how do you become aware of your moods and don't allow yourself to be fooled by the low ones?
So you're talking about your own moods or somebody else's?
Yeah, talking about our own moods because they're so deceptive.
Yeah, they're deceptive and they take you off guard, right? You cannot predict them. So
be aware of that, that.
Right. So I'm not sure what you're already doing for your self-care, but breathing, mindfulness, journaling. These are some great tools to help to be aware, and consistency with doing these things is very important. If you do it 1 day, 2 days, and then leave it for a month, that's not going to help. So you have to start by doing it at least every day, or maybe every alternate day, once a week, whatever you can start with. But there has to be a consistency.
Thank you.
I have Dimple here. May I ask Dimple to unmute herself? Dimple, over to you.
Yeah, hi, thanks. Hi, Prerna. My question is, how, as a MS patient, I definitely have mood swings. And if someone is trying to trigger my anger or anxiety or anything like that, how at that particular point, how do I take care of myself? Because it really goes really high, and there are times when I get panic attacks. So at such points, how do I take care of myself?
Yeah. First things first, you have to be aware of the intensity. If the intensity is too much, I would say please get one-on-one help. Secondly, mood swings are normal. So first of all, normalize that for yourself. Thirdly, change the way you are talking, right? So you said, if someone is trying to trigger my anxiety or anger, nobody has the power to trigger your anger and anxiety. You are the one in control. So you have to say, I feel angry and anxiety when someone does this to me. So then when you take responsibility for how you are responding to somebody, you can take a step back, take a few deep breaths, and then respond. Sometimes you will be successful, sometimes you won't, but you have to start trying somewhere.
Renuka, I think we are at the end of the session. So do we have any more questions?
Actually, I have clubbed some of the questions that have come in the chat. So maybe I'll just sum it up, and Prerna, you could probably tell us. We are seeing in the chat box, people are saying, I feel guilty, I feel exhausted, I have memory loss, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling frustrated. From other sources also, people are saying that I'm feeling tired quickly. पहले जितना tired लगता था, अब ज़्यादा जल्दी tired लग रहा है. तो ये क्या लक्षण है केयर गिवर बर्नआउट के बारे में कुछ आप बता सकते हैं? कैन यू टेल अस? क्योंकि ये सारे जो लक्षण मतलब लग रहे हैं लोगों को, ये क्या है? ये क्या बर्नआउट की तरफ जा रहा है या कंप्लीट एग्जॉशन एंड ब्रेकडाउन की तरफ जा रहा है? इसके बारे में अगर आप थोड़ा सा बता सकते हैं, और इसके लिए आगे क्या करना पड़ेगा? आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड यू कांट गिव स्पेसिफिक, बट जनरल, क्या हम डॉक्टर से बात करें, अपने सोसाइटी से बात करें, किस तरह इसको टैकल करें? व्हाट इज केयर गिवर बर्नआउट, और इसको किस तरह से रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाए और टैकल किया जाए? ये हमारा लास्ट सवाल है. काफी लोगों ने इसके ऊपर मतलब अलग अलग टाइप से बताया है.
Okay. Thank you for summarizing that, Renuka. So I'll try and do a quick combination of English and Hindi, whatever I can manage. Quick pointers there, right? Firstly, yes, ये caregiver burnout के लक्षण हैं. These are signs of caregiver burnout. Like I said in my presentation, आपको ये नोटिस करना है कि ये कितनी ऑफन होता है और कितनी इंटेंसिटी से होता है. So अगर आपका टायर्ड और एग्जॉशन लगातार बढ़ते ही जा रहा है, इट्स डेफिनेटली बर्नआउट. अगर आपकी टायर्ड और एग्जॉशन आती है कभी कभी, देन इट्स नॉट बर्नआउट, इट्स नॉर्मल. अगर आपको हमेशा गिल्ट लगता है, देन इट्स बर्नआउट. देन यू नीड टू टॉक टू अ काउंसलर. आप किसी थेरेपिस्ट से बात करो, काउंसलर से बात करो, अपनी सोसाइटी से बात करिए, अपने अंदर की जो फ्रस्ट्रेशंस है या आपको जो फील हो रहा है वो जर्नल करिए, लिखिए, वो अपने सिस्टम से निकालिए, क्योंकि आपके अंदर वो सोडा फिश की तरह बढ़ते जा रहा है. सो यू नीड अ रिलीज. तो आपको वो रिलीज हेल्दी तरीके से करना है, आपको वो कि सोसाइटी के सपोर्ट से करना है, फ्रेंड्स या फैमिली से बात करके करना है, जर्नल करके करना है, different ways. So मेरे presentation में I touched upon recognizing burnout symptoms. जो भी symptoms, Renuka, whatever symptoms you said, if they persist for a long time, it is signs of burnout. How you can get support, like I said, mindfulness, breathing, meditation, exercise, self-care. Make a self-care plan. जो भी हमने presentation में बात करी, self-care plan बनाइए. Start small and then slowly build on it. And अगर help चाहिए तो again society से बात करिए. And if we can do continuous sessions like this, I would be happy to do smaller groups so that we can get more personal and address these specific issues more in detail.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Prerna. Before I hand it over back to Shankar, just one input. एक क्वेश्चनर हम बना के भेजेंगे, जितने भी आप लोग हैं या जो भी हमारे चैप्टर से जुड़े हुए हैं, स्पेशली केयर गिवर्स, उनके लिए हम एक क्वेश्चनर बना के भेजेंगे और उसमें आपके क्या सवाल हैं, आपको कैसा महसूस हो रहा है, वो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन हम आप लोगों के साथ एक क्वेश्चनर फॉर्म में शेयर करेंगे. अगर वो आप हमें दें तो आगे जाके प्रेरणा जी की तरह हमें कितने सेशंस करने पड़ेंगे, किस तरह से केयर गिवर के लिए केयर गिविंग करें, उसका एक अलग ही हम कार्यक्रम ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. सो with this, it's the end, but I hand it over back to you, Shankar, for delivering the vote of thanks, please. Thank you.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Prerna for this wonderful session and the entire Hyderabad chapter for putting a very meaningful session together, especially for the caregivers. This year, the theme is focused on the caregivers. And, you know, they are the support structure of our MS world. And a lot of things happen very silently. There is no much focus because all the time we have been focusing on the person with MS, and the caregiver has been a conduit. We've always worked with the caregiver and the MS person, but we never had the spotlight on the caregiver. So this whole month is the spotlight is on the caregiver, who's doing such a fantastic job, very quietly, very there's no awards, no prizes, no best MS person, no nothing. They're silently at the back, just supporting the MS person, and so much of compassion, love, and selflessness, which goes into that, sacrifice, which goes into that. So we want to recognize that, we want to highlight that, and we want to support all the caregivers. So that's why we have a series of programs this whole month. And you have made a great start, Hyderabad, so well done. And I look forward to the other chapters also now following suit and adding to this wonderful series and sequence of webinars for the entire month. And I request all of you who are here to stay connected on the social media. We have this video we should host on the YouTube. We already have it live on Facebook. The information is on our Instagram. I request Javed to please share the links on chat. So anybody who's not connected on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, please do stay connected, because on all these places we'll be, giving the information. Yeah, Javed, I think that slide is there. Yes. So you can also please paste it in the chat for anybody who would, want this information. You could just make a share this information. And I would also like to thank all the co-hosts, Javed, Tanya for supporting, and Meena for organizing this wonderful job, and Mamta, who's been working at the back end very quietly to make sure that, as usual, Hyderabad comes up with a great World MSD program and a very meaningful one there. So I hope I know that we are all going through some really tough times, but let us stay strong. Let us be there for each other, and let us, go through this pandemic also, in a safe way. Let us cross to the other side, and hopefully, joyfully, we'll be one day able to embrace each other with a lot more personal attention and love. Till then, we have to be virtual and stay and practice all safe practices of COVID appropriate behavior and stay safe. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening and have a nice Sunday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, ended the Facebook. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazia, for all the support at the back end.